Campus Crusade is an international, interdenominational Christian mission organization, and it started as a college ministry, which is what we're going on staff with.
I feel like almost every aspect of my college experience was in some way or shape affected by my involvement with Campus Crusade.
As I was finishing my 4 years at the University of Arkansas with my journalism degree, I knew that I really liked my classes, but when I heard about the opportunity to full-time hang out with women and walk beside them in life and point them to Christ, I was like, yes, I definitely want to do that. There was a need for an intern at Oklahoma State, which is where Aaron was at school. It was great how it worked out because Aaron and I hadn't lived in the same town since high school, and we knew before we made any big life decisions we wanted to live in the same place. I moved to Stillwater, Oklahoma to do what ended up being a 2-year internship with Campus Crusade.
We'd had a relationship long distance for 4 years. I mean, it was great having her in the same town again and getting to see her on a regular basis. So I think that really kind of was maybe one of the last steps in our relationship that we hadn't been able to experience until she moved to Stillwater for those last couple of years while I was a student.
Probably halfway through Aaron's last year in school, around the time we were getting engaged, we were seriously thinking about joining staff with Campus Crusade. It seemed like a really natural fit for us and something we were both very passionate about.
I really got some great advice saying, if this is something you're serious about, if this is something you really want to do long term, take a couple years, go establish your marriage, gain some real world experience, and then, you know, if you still feel like God's leading you to this after a couple years, come back and you'll be better prepared for, you know, for your future because of those 2 years.
I definitely had some hesitations. I think in my mind, just wondering, okay, well, if I've never experienced kind of the real world life outside of full-time ministry, will I wonder what that was like?
So we took their advice. When we moved to Dallas, you know, ministry was still on the back of our mind. It was still something that we kind of had our heart on, but we wanted to really commit to this phase of our life and not just try to get through it to get to the next part. So we decided we wouldn't really talk about it for a couple of years. So we didn't talk about it for a while, and then when we did bring it up, Meg and I were both just, I think we were still in the exact same place. So really, even though we love our life in Dallas, it was a pretty easy choice whenever it did come time to make that choice.
Once we made the decision and started telling people, it definitely made it feel very real.
We've had a few people that, you know, maybe have had bad experiences in the past with Campus Crusade, and it wasn't us that they weren't excited about, it was just the organization we were with. They'd had a bad experience or knew someone who'd gotten hurt by that organization in some way, and sometimes they kind of let us know about that. But I mean, I do appreciate people's honesty.
Campus Crusade staff, like a lot of mission organizations, doesn't have central funds to pay for our salaries and ministry expenses, insurance, all that stuff that goes into having a job. So every individual staff member is responsible for raising up a team who want to partner with them in ministry by either praying for their ministry or giving financially on some sort of consistent basis. And then once we hit 100% of our financial goal, we can move to Arkansas. So right now, that's what we're doing full time.
We're talking to people several, you know, normally 8 to 10 times a week. And we're doing basically the same presentation over and over again. I mean, each one's very different and unique, and people have different questions and stories and things like that. But, you know, after saying the same thing 100 times, it's hard to keep emotionally invested and keep that same energy level. So I think that was a big struggle for me, you know, after the first couple of months of just really continuing to get excited about what we're doing and knowing that each person we speak to is, you know, this is their first time to hear it. This is their first time to hear my story and hear about what we're going to be doing. So it's something that gets probably even more difficult as time goes along to continue to get that energy. But, you know, we're getting close to being done, and I've been able to keep going so far, so hopefully we'll be able to have a strong finish.
We were on the road somewhere and we got an email that said, the Foundation Sunday School class has decided to do a garage sale and we want it to benefit your ministry. And Aaron and I had not asked the class this. At this time, we hadn't even started fundraising at all. So to hear that while we were away, people back home were already thinking about how they could be involved with our ministry, we were so excited. We had a ton of stuff. It was packed in this storage room at our church and it looked like so much stuff. And then we drug it out onto the parking lot and it didn't look as big. But then as the morning went on, a lot of stuff was being sold. We were really excited. And then it ended up that the class raised $2,000 for us through this garage sale.
They kind of give each new staff member a goal. And for Megan and I, the goal they gave us was to be done with support and report to campus in April of 2011. So about 10 months from the time we left. So roughly we should gain about 10% of our support each month. And we worked hard and we had a really great start, but I just kept thinking in my mind like, oh, it's gonna slow down, we're gonna hit all the easy people at the beginning and then it's gonna, start tapering off as, we get into more distant friends and family. Over the last 4 months, we've had almost 25% come in each month. Now it's late November and we're at 100%. It looks like we're gonna be able to start in the spring semester in January once we get packed up and move to Fayetteville. So we're gonna be there to start in the spring semester in January and we're really excited to be on campus.